Alright guys, this is going to be for Sagittarius or Sagittarius crosswatcher. You guys can also reverse this if you need to. Whew! We got a lot. We got a lot here. In the simplest form, what I think this is you are just done with something, whatever the something is. It doesn't have to be romantic. I feel romantic strongly, but it could honestly be anything. You're done. You are done. Couldn't be any more done. And you are now planning your exit. Now, this could be something that's already happened. A lot of you, it's currently happening. That's why I'm talking in current moment tense. Or it's something that will be happening. Could even be a work situation. You know, like I'm planning my next job. Like I'm already going to the interview. I already have the date I start set up before I leave this place. But in the meantime, I'm putting on, you know, it's like faking it to make it, almost in a way, to make it out unscathed, or to make it out with less drama. Something like that. But in other scenarios, this is something quite serious, okay? Basically, you are entirely over something in every way, completely done. You see light through an entire situation, and you're playing your cards right, basically. This is what I wrote down. Meanwhile, your vision includes getting far away from whatever or whomever this is. In every scenario here, it's someone who's kind of playing along, which really fucking sucks. That'll make you kind of, well, it depends on how bad it is. Like the first one I said, not so bad. Nobody's being like abused or anything like that. Not necessarily, it's just maybe a toxic environment. But if we're dealing with actually anybody here being abused, okay? And I mean in any way, there are several different types of that'll fuck a person up bad. That will really fuck a person up bad. When you have to do that, it's like you're scared. You know, like we could have someone who's been living in a state of fear here, or just like constant anxiety being around somebody or having to deal with someone. I got a lot of different examples, but a movie was coming to me. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I don't really remember it, except for in the end she kicks his ass. But enough. The movie's called Enough. You've had about enough. Yeah, so anyway, it's Jennifer Lopez in that movie, but if I remember correctly, and her husband's beats the living shit out of her. And she fights back eventually, but she kind of has to play along in order to get away from him. You know what I'm saying? Like she has to pretend to save herself. I mean, you hear about that. I've talked about this before, but some stories you hear of kidnapping and things like that, people also have to be that way. If people are going through divorces, maybe they know it will just be better for the children or everybody involved if this person just plays along, plays their cards right, gets along, acts none the wiser with somebody until this person can get out, basically. So yeah, let's keep reading. If this has to do with a current relationship you have with someone, romantic or not, a relationship with your mom, your dad, a family member, period, anybody at work, a neighbor, neighbors, a friend, anything. We have someone here who on the outside world, maybe not everybody knows what's really going on, or maybe they do a little bit, but they don't know how bad it is and how fucking negative it is, and extremely, I feel like it's mentally, like very mentally abusive and draining, and just like, God, someone, I don't know, I feel like somebody's dealing with a really big manipulator here, and I hate saying that. I really fucking hate saying that, because I like to see both sides of everything, but like I'm telling you, somebody's dealing with this, and I don't know if it's you or the cross watcher, or if it's somebody on the outside of you, but somehow they're connected to you and they're dealing with this in some way. And I don't know, just needing out of it, just it's fucking awful. I feel like somebody, I'm telling you, somebody's out there within, really, and almost in survival mode or something. Like, I can't do this anymore. Basically, someone's showing something to the outside world, or somebody is showing a specific face, a specific energy, and whatever to that particular individual, but inwardly they're plotting their escape from this person or these people. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say being fake, but it's in the order to like save yourself, basically, and it doesn't have to be from anything big, but in some cases it could be from harm. Some it's just from like can't deal with the stress anymore. But it's like, to you I will act one way, but inwardly I feel very sick when you come around me, or when you come into my room, or when you walk past me, or when I hear you're home, or when I feel very sick. It makes me sick. It's like fucking someone up, health-wise, or it has been. I feel anxious, I feel nervous, I want to smoke more cigarettes, I want to drink more alcohol, I want to sleep all the time, or I can't sleep at all, or I'm constantly nervous, my nerves are shot, my what is that called? Cortisol? That's not right, is it? My cortisol levels are high. I don't know. My blood pressure is high. Basically, someone's been having to pretend, either to the outside world, to friends, to family, or whoever they're having to pretend to, or they're having to pretend to the person themselves that is making them very, just they got to get away from this person. I'll just say it like that. Somebody just got to get away from someone. Yeah, in order to survive it, or it'd be best for everybody. It's best for everybody, and it's best for this person's interest if they play along until they're out of there. That's what I get. Most cases, I feel like it's nothing real serious. It's just, I'm around a difficult individual. I'm around difficult individuals, whether it's one or more than one, or, you know, it's like, imagine quitting a job. I don't think that's anyone's actual story, but it could be. It's just an example here where, you know, even though I know I'm going to be putting in my 2 weeks notice, or even though I know I'm going to be leaving, won't even put in my 2 weeks notice, because these people are so fucking shiesty. They wouldn't even, it wouldn't be like anywhere I'm going would even be able to call these people, because even if I'm like the best employee they have, they would still lie on me just to ruin me being able to work anywhere else, because I'm leaving them. You know what I mean? So fuck these people, but that's what they would do. So I'm not even going to put in my 2 weeks, but in the meantime, I've already got something set up here. I'm already ready to go. These people didn't need to call and reference this job, so they know what I'm dealing with, and we're good to go. But before I can start that day, I'm going to just play along here, because I have to. I've got to still make money. I've still got bills to pay and food to put on the table. I'm going to do what I have to do until I leave, so that my environment is not harder on me than it's already been. That's just a good way to put it. That's what I'm feeling. In some instances, guys, this could be a kid. Like, imagine a child is... they go to a certain individual's house, and they really don't like being there, or they don't like being around that certain individual. I don't know who that individual is, just an example, another one. And they may play along while they're there. They may actually play along. Maybe this person's, I don't want to speculate. I don't know how this person would be, because I'm not feeling it strongly, but either way, it makes the child uncomfortable to be around them. Very uncomfortable. They don't really feel safe. They probably don't. They're just, their health may even be affected due to being around a specific individual. Like their nerves are shot or something. I don't know. And so, but they play along until they get to go back to this other person's place. Whoever that is, right? That's another way this could go. Or maybe it's, I play along at school and blah, 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 but really I just do that so that they don't hurt me, or so that I can get through each day, when really I can't wait to go home. It's like that. If this is with someone who's already an ex, this may be people who have to end up being cordial, or a person who's very cordial, who wants to like get along, and they do, but they know there's no really getting along with someone necessarily. It will always end up the same way, because it's proved time and time again to do that. But inwardly, this person is actually over the entire situation, is completely over the other individual, and is just doing what they have to do for the sake of a child or children. Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, like, I never want to do this again, you know? Or doing what they have to do. If it's not because of a child or children, it's because we own some sort of property together or something, you know? Others of you, this could be, I've already covered this, a work situation, family, living, etc. Like maybe someone's, you know, I had a landlord like this once. I've actually never talked about that, but I did. I had a landlord like this once, where I had to be a certain way until I knew I could get out of there because I had nowhere else to go. So this landlord did things that was really crossing the line and very inappropriate and disrespectful, and felt like they could do it because it was their house and their property that I was renting. But I mean, there were times this person would show up, just a lot of times actually, would just show up and walk throughout the yard and act like they're like looking at something in the yard or just checking the windows without calling first and saying they're coming. And I would be walking through the house fucking naked with the windows open because the back of the house faced the woods and there was nobody back there. It was like property, it was private, it was all this. It was, so in the back of the house I'd keep them open. And I'd be damned if I'm like home by myself walking through the house naked just getting out of the shower and I see the landlord just walking up and down the fucking backyard and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? Or just like that type shit right there, or showing up unannounced and like crossing back, like it made me feel a certain type of way. And I'm like, okay. And I don't know. You know, this could even be someone here who's been having to kind of deal with something for the time being, deal with some type of awful behavior done against them, but it's because maybe they don't have the resources to do anything about it right now. So it's like someone having to almost take it, just time and time again. And what that does is it ends up being like in the end of the movie enough when Jennifer Lopez done suited up and was about to kick her husband's ass. Of course it's a movie, but it's the first thing that popped in my head to kind of give an example of what the point someone's going to get to if they're not already there, where it's like, I can't wait till I can fight back, whether it's legally fight back, whether it's punch someone in the face. I'm not suggesting that, I'm just saying, or whether I can say I'm seriously like done. I'm really fucking done. And again, if this is like a younger person who can't help it, like they can't help the situation that's going on, it's really weighing on this person. It's weighing on this child or something, because it's like, something is. That's what I feel. I feel like I wrote something on the back. I did. Yeah, I was trying to find an exact word for that. What's the word where you, because I was writing that I Googled, when somebody has to pretend, or when someone has to act a certain way almost to survive. Now, again, I want to reiterate, I don't think the vast majority of you, that's your message, or Crosswatch or whoever, where it's like someone's actually in a situation, like where they're in harm or in something. I don't feel that for the majority, but it is present here. Others, I feel like it's more just like, which is still just as damaging. I don't know what to say. I mean, how is it not? It's just as damaging mentally to fuck with somebody, and constant, you know what I mean? And then feel like you're trapped and you can't get out and there's no way you can go without being entirely fucked. So it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I'm kind of like, so I just have to like pretend in order to get through it. You know what I mean? It's almost like when someone, again, they get kidnapped and then, you know, you've heard of these stories over time. Like, what is that called? Where you pretend in order to survive and get away from your abuser. You convince your abuser that, I don't know, that you don't have a problem with them, or you're like, you just play their game or some shit. I don't know, in order to get out. Yeah. And then I wrote, the movie Enough comes to mind. Yeah, so anyone could be dealing with abuse here. It could be in any form, and it could be in a work situation. Love, family. Someone could be abused by their family. Love, friends, a living situation for sure. And some of these can be combined. Law, even, like people who have power could be abusing a situation with people, and they're just having to deal with it for the time being because they have no way to fight back. It's fucked up, actually. Yeah. That's what I'm getting. I think we did good on time. Yeah. Somebody's gotten to a place, or will, I mean, we're on different timelines, where they're worn down, like completely drained of a situation. But I commend whoever is going through this. It's not easy, even if it's, especially if it's a child, because like, wow, but poor baby, you know. But where it's like, I'm going to I'm gonna do what I have to do. Like, I don't know. It, in some ways, it feels like someone's temporarily stuck. And maybe at the time being, they don't really, or they know, maybe they do know, in order to get out, especially if this is you, somebody here, in order to get out, I'm going to have to, it's going to be hell. It's going to be a lot. And if it's not an abusive situation, which also could be considered abusive, someone could be dealing with a very manipulative individual, or very manipulative individuals who will blackmail or whatever. And it's like, wow, I have to be calculated. And meanwhile, inwardly, emotionally, try my hardest to not let it affect me while I can't do anything about it. Otherwise, it's gonna kill me. So, or it's gonna really make me sick or put me in a hospital or whatever, because I'm gonna let it eat me alive. So I'm gonna try not to let it eat me alive. I'm just gonna do what I have to do for the meantime, for the time being, and then get through this. Wow. And let's see it on another side of things before I go. If it's not a manipulative situation or an abusive situation, it could be someone who's just dealing with someone very annoying, someone who's really fucking annoying. And it's like let's say you have two people, this is just an example, who own a business and they have employees that they hire. And they can't just fire a specific employee because they have to do it in a certain way, but they're looking to definitely get rid of this specific employee because this employee is a total nightmare. Okay, this is just the only way I'm thinking of it. So anyway, they may end up having to really watch this employee closely so they can end up writing them up over time in order to get rid of them. You see, but in the meantime, they have to put up with it, right? That's also what I'm getting. Or if someone is kind of like, having to deal, let's say a family situation, someone needs help in the family, so you've got one person who goes to help that individual, but meanwhile this person who goes to help the person who just had surgery or has been sick or needs help or whatever, this person's going to have to deal with someone else who will also be there. And it's like, I really don't want to deal with this person. Like, I never ever want to deal with this person again. I'm entirely fucking done. But until maybe, you know, a situation over here gets better, and either I don't have to come around as often, or maybe someone passes, and it's like, until that happens, I'm just gonna have to really grit my teeth and deal with it, and then until eventually I don't fucking have to anymore. Some of you, this already happened. It was like a long time ago. Somebody bid their time until they were able to get out, and now they're never turning back around. Like, I mean, this is a final fucking decision. When somebody's out here, they're fucking out. Done. This will be like someone saying, you know, if it's a child, they may end up telling someone, I don't want to live with so-and-so. And maybe it's, I have to wait till I'm at the age where I can decide legally, but I don't want to live with so-and-so. I want to live with you. Okay, I'm going to go. Thank you guys for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.